Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for December, the Iowa City Human Rights Commission. And do a quick roll call here. Commissioner Mohammed, not with us. Kolash, present. Priest.
Present.
Lusala.
Present.
Paul Shantz.
Here.
Mendez Shannon. Miller. Harkin.
Present.
And Kadura
Here.
is here. Great. All right. And let's see, the Native American Land Acknowledgement. We meet today in the community of Iowa City, which now occupies the homelands of Native American nations, to whom we owe our commitment and dedication. The area of Iowa City was within the homelands of the Iowa, Meskwaki, and Sauk, and because history is complex and time goes back far beyond memory, we also acknowledge the ancient connections of many other indigenous peoples here. The history of broken treaties and forced removal that dispossessed indigenous peoples of their homelands was and is an act of colonization and genocide that we cannot erase. We implore the Iowa City community to commit to understanding and addressing these injustices as we work toward equity, restoration, and reparations. That brings us to agenda item 3, report from the Police Department's Community Outreach. Hi, Trey.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing today?
Great.
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me, and good to see you all. I do want to say this is going to be rather brief. We have another event actually tonight that's at 5:30, so I'm going to show up fashionably late, but they've got it handled, so I have nothing I have to worry about. So we have had a couple of things that we've done. I know last week I gave a internet safety presentation to the ARC of Southeast over off of Towncrest for about an hour or so. We just talked about general safety on the internet. Really simplified scams, just to make sure that they're aware of what's going on, what they could be targeted with. And then we set up actually another meeting for, I believe it's January 12th, just to give them kind of an introduction to an officer, and then do a short in the day of an officer presentation. Super lighthearted, so looking forward to that. Those are always fun. And then tonight at the mall, we're doing Holiday with Heroes. It can't be called Shop with the Copper, otherwise you get sued for all trademarks and all that kind of stuff. So Holiday with Heroes. And that includes children from Broadway neighborhood centers, from Pheasant Ridge neighborhood centers, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. They were split evenly, and that's always good and always fun, and it's a great thing to be a part of. So, like I said, I have that at start at 5:30, but we'll get there. And then I had one other thing, but it is escaping my mind. Oh yes, we met with Bea, who works for the neighborhood centers, and we're looking to get more involved in their curricular activities, especially during the winter. Gives us something to do, but it also can benefit them. And then that's what we're looking to do right now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
What was the first name of the person from Broadway that you met with?
Bea.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Trey.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good one.
You too.
You guys had a good Thanksgiving too. I forgot.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Happy holidays, Trey. Oh, sorry, Kelsey had a question. Nope.
Okay.
I didn't see her hand in
It's always
time.
me. I'm sorry, Trey.
It's okay.
I just was wondering if there's any reminders that you want to share with the commission or just the general public too about cold weather resources that are out there. If we see our community members in need,
Yes.
about how we might be able to communicate any resources for those that might be in need as cold weather has arrived in our community.
Great question. So in terms of resources, I know that the winter shelter opened up 2 weeks early, so it has already actually opened up. That opens at 5 p.m., I believe. It is across the street and across the train tracks from the shelter house, and it's attached to GuideLink. And then in terms of other resources, I know Community has some things that they're able to offer. The shelter house has a garage attached to it that has a bunch of winter supplies inside of it. That's coats, hats, gloves, warming socks, warming heating pads, all those kind of things. And then there's warming centers throughout the city that are open throughout the day. And also we'll open up early or stay a little open later, depending on how severe the weather is. So those are great things to utilize within the community.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And best wishes for your next event.
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys.
All right, see ya. Thanks. All right, item 4, approval of meeting minutes from October 28th. Take a look through there in the packet. Any questions?
Big meeting.
If there aren't any questions or edits to make, then we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All right, approved and seconded for the meeting minutes for October 28th. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, minutes approved. Agenda item 5, public comment for items not on the agenda. Commentators can address the commission for no more than 5 minutes, and commissioners shall not engage in discussion regarding these items. Is there any public comment? Okay. Item 6, correspondence. There are a few flyers and things in our packet tonight. Plain State Zonal Forum, December 5th and 6th at St. Mark's.
Do we know anything more about that than the flyer?
Not that I know of.
I know. It was just sent to an email to give out to the commissioner to distribute.
Okay.
So I don't know anything.
All right. And then there's an email from Karen Cubby about 3 dates to discuss gaps in funding and resources needed to increase the number of businesses owned by members of underestimated communities in our area. Those are all Tuesdays, starting tomorrow. Let's see. We've got a grief support group for people under 30, which has met once and meets again on Wednesday. Know Your Rights on December 6th at the Senior Citizen Center.
And that's actually from the grant,
Okay, great.
Yep. The Community Inclusion.
Community Inclusion Club. Okay. Any questions on any of that correspondence? Stephanie, any additional correspondence?
Not that I have, no.
All right. Okay, then following all that correspondence in the packet is an email from Bethany Snyder, who is the chair of the Urbandale Civil Rights Commission. And she has drafted a op-ed in honor of Human Rights Day and has invited human rights and civil rights commissions from around the state to co-sign this op-ed that she will submit to the Des Moines Register and then will distribute out for us to submit to the Press Citizen, the Daily Iowan, and other local newspapers. The draft of the letter is the last thing in our packet. So if you didn't get a chance to read this in your email, give you a second here to skim through that.
As you review it, I'd make the motion that we as a commission be signers.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion to approve the cosign of the commission as a whole to the letter.
I'll
So-
second that.
And it is seconded. Great. All right, so the floor is open for discussion.
So I have a question. So if we sign it as a Human Rights Commission, that counts if somebody abstained from the vote for some specific items on the letter? Like I recall that we had a meeting before and I abstained from specific, letter relates to such, format and such, use of wordings. So if I still abstain from the voting, still can be signed as a Human Rights Commission, right?
Yes, yeah, because the commission as a whole would approve it.
Okay, just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Depends on the vote.
Okay, thank you.
You want to talk about why you want to abstain?
Wait, I don't recall exactly the letter that was put in front of us before. Maybe Stephanie can remind me of it. We followed up through an emails, and then I responded with a detailed, why I have to abstain from the vote.
This one?
Not this one.
No.
Something related to.
Yeah, I understand. I get that one. But this one, do you
Oh, no.
want to abstain from this?
I just have to review it more, in depth.
Oh, okay.
To make sure that I fully agree with every wording of it.
Because I understand that this one came through your email that you could have signed it by as an individual, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, which,
Right.
Yeah.
Which I already have as an
Yes.
individual. Yeah. Mhm.
But here we want to vote as a whole commission to
This
vote
would be
on
to
it.
say as a commission. Yes. Yeah.
now that was my motion. I'm willing to sign it as an individual, but I thought it was be a strong statement as a commission, especially
Exactly.
since Doug has led the way. It looks like Des Moines Commission, some members signed it, but not all members of the commission.
That is all of theirs. I'm not
That's
sure
all of
why
theirs.
they
Okay.
individually signed it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 7 members, but they currently only have 5, so I believe that's 5 people that are on that letter
Yeah.
from Des Moines, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I'm willing to sign it as an individual or as a commission. So.
I am too.
Right. Yeah. I think we all would as a, or, a lot of us can as individuals, but I think tonight we're looking at, we want to say that the commission itself as an entity, as a government body of the city of Iowa City,
Yeah.
approve and co-sign this. Yeah.
And we'd already
So
made
I'll just say, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
we'd already made a statement about the February 27th removal of gender protections. This seems consistent with what our response was to that.
We could always, like how they have it on here, if someone wants to abstain, we could have the name as the commission and then the individual signers underneath.
Could do that.
I mean, if we still want to have it like as a commission.
Yeah, so I think Doug really introed this well. I will just add that I think many of you know that both Doug and I are on a mailing list that Bethany initiated that includes chairs and vice chairs from across the state of Human Rights Commission members and Human Rights Commissions. And so the first invitation was, do you want to add your individual name to this? And then the second invitation was, do you want to share this with others, especially once Des Moines and Urbandale began adding more of their members. And so I'm really glad that Doug brought this to all of us. I think that what we should vote on is what we as a commission would like to do, and like how we want to list the Iowa City Human Rights Commission, for example. And then separately, I think we can get you contact details if you would additionally like to add your own individual name. And I think that that's the best way that by consensus this evening we could move forward as a suggestion.
I like what the Des Moines did. You can put Iowa City Human Rights and just list the people that want to add their name.
I think the city attorneys would tell you that it just needs to say Iowa City Human Rights Commission.
Okay.
If you want to sign as an individual, that's up to you, but the commission should just be Iowa City Human Rights Commission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Doesn't matter to me.
So it depends on the vote.
Yeah.
So one other thought I wanted to add, I noticed that there's a comment, and it still is active in the draft in Google Docs right now too, about adding a mention of immigrant rights somewhere in the document. I don't know if that change will still happen, but maybe if we sign on to this, we can indicate that as of the draft of whatever date we're signing on to it, just just to make sure that they flag to us if there are any changes made after that date, after today,
That's true.
so that we know exactly what that text reads once it's published.
That is a fair point.
That's a good point.
I will say that this is a statement or a op-ed that is in celebration of Human Rights Day, which is December 10th, the anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, rights for all individuals across the globe. It is universal from the UN. There are examples in here about what has happened in Iowa recently to cause us to sign this and openly, publicly state the importance of it. But as the Human Rights Commission of Iowa City, one of our charges is to protect and defend and support human rights, no matter whose rights we're talking about, the UN Declaration of Human Rights, which this is. So I think that this, to me, if you can't support this, then I think you question why you're on this commission.
Well, I do respect the statement that you just made. If you want to clarify, I already wrote an email reply previously about why I abstained from the vote. So if I'm...
Can you clarify for us tonight then?
Yes, absolutely. So as I have clarified before, when I joined the Human Rights Commission, I declared and I look like and I stated that I'm a Muslim who stands for the human rights and integrity of every human being that who is created by God. So that regardless of their faith, of their gender, of their ethnicity, of their race, of everything. Now the wording, when it comes to the wording things, in Islam, we believe that God has created, human beings in a gender of a man and a woman. So even if I, stand for the rights of every human being, when the statements started with or relates to setting a third gender or a fourth gender or so forth, even if all the rights underneath I stand for it, just a statement top that I cannot go with it. Why? Because my morality comes from God. So if my morality comes that there is only a gender, a man and a woman, I cannot vote for something or join the vote for something that the first statement in it, that it stands for the rights of a third gender or fourth or fifth. That does not dismiss any human rights for anyone. I will stand with their integrity, with their rights to work, to get the health care, to get jobs, to get housing, to get everything. We're talking about just the phrase of the gender. So I don't know if this is clear. I already cleared it in an email too. So I'm not sure, Stephanie, you can pull the email maybe?
Oh, you mean right now? No,
Or maybe you can share to the other commissioners
I can
later
share,
on.
yeah, because I would have to go back and I don't even know if it's in my inbox anymore, so.
Yeah, so in Islam, we don't play gods on earth. Like God treats everyone equally, and God is just, and we have to be just with everyone else. It just, as again, our morality and ethics comes from the Lord, and the Lord says, I have created you into a man and a woman. So we stand with every rights for every human single being. But then when it comes to the definition or the title of it that implies that there is a third or more than a gender, then I have just to abstain to fulfill my spiritual commitments to God that I believe in the statement that humans were created in a man and a woman. So I don't see that this is an obstruction to being a human rights commission or being standing with the rights of every human being to live in integrity and dignity and having their rights met on this earth.
So I understand your theological perspective on this. I think Doug's observation that December 10th is the approval of the United Nations document on human rights, that's what we're endorsing. How the particulars are lived out in various communities as yet another thing. So I don't think my perspective theologically is you're not subordinating your faith to this document. You're saying, I'm on planet Earth and there's this document that the United Nations approved. and you can support that while you'll live out your theology on your own.
Well, again, I support every rights that does not contradict or oppose the fact that God has created every human into a man and a woman. So now you bring me anyone who titled themselves as a transgender or as a third gender. We obligated by God to treat them as equally as any other human being on this earth, without any discrimination, without anything else. But the title itself, that if I wanna approve that there is something called a third gender, that's the statement itself that I am not willing just to put my name next to it. I'm not sure if this makes sense or.
Yes,
I'm
Fiona, I
looking for
think
that
you've answered
phrase.
the question. And I think for the purposes of tonight, as we're agreeing to this as a consensus, and you're abstaining from that consensus, I think we have enough information to proceed with the vote by consensus on supporting the statement and aligning with other human rights commissions.
Well, this is why I have asked at the beginning, if I abstain from a vote, will that impact, the commission, signing as a whole commission? And just to make sure that I'm not obstructing the whole vote of the commission. For example, if now somebody stands in front of us and trying to talk about alcohol, about taxes, about raising the tax for alcohol or dropping the tax for alcohol, I will abstain from that vote as well. Why? Because our morality, our ethics, that we are prohibited from touching and drinking and dealing with alcohol. So I have to abstain from that vote as well. Not because, I want to obstruct the work of the Human Rights Commissions because, since most of the people, they might be drinking and using alcohol on a normal daily basis. But there are moral and ethics that I have to maintain. And I think as I respect others and, other identities and other individual and other principles, I should be respected for who I am and for what my faith stands for.
Thank you for sharing your view, and I'm the one that asked why you abstaining, and I understand that, and yeah, that's why we have vote, and you can either vote in the negative or you can vote in the positive, and you go with whatever vote is. I think if you start diving in on each person's belief, that'll be a much deeper conversation because. The world we live in, if we really go in the history of many wars that we have today, I think the cause of it started by religion. I think if we look at what's going on with our country, most of the votes that people, they justify based on religion. Some of the people that voted for people who are doing some of the worst things in humankind, they justify it because religion. So yes, I respect each person's position when it comes to their theological view on things and their beliefs. So thank you for sharing. So
I just want to make sure that no one in here will blame Islam for my not voting or abstaining from such a thing.
No.
Again, Islam is a just religion, and I will be punished in hell if I stand against the justice and the fairness and the rights of any other human beings on this earth.
One of the things
I don't think anybody's criticizing Islam. It's
One of the beautiful-
that's one of the religion. It's like people, Christianity, Islam, and all those are part of each person's religious belief. So I don't think anybody's criticizing that. So
One of
I
the
think-
things you've taught me about Islam is the hospitality that's so significant for it. The welcome, the care, the feeding, the clothing, even for the enemy.
Yes.
So I'm pleased that you gave voice to this. I think you're probably supportive of the United Nations document.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
So. Do we still have discussion on the table? Or?
Other discussion? Then we will vote on approving to sign this op-ed as the City of Iowa City Human Rights Commission. Commissioner LaSala, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Commissioner Priest,
Yes.
Commissioner Kadura,
I'll abstain.
Commissioner Harkin,
Yes.
Commissioner Paul Schatz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Kolash votes yes as well. So motion carries.
Observing 5 yes and 1 abstention.
Correct, thank you. Moving on to agenda number 9, our commission work groups. My sister. Let's see, we have names
Sorry,
here.
do we still have agenda item 8?
8. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you. Planning and updates for the International Day of Human Rights event on December 10th. Yeah, Kelsey, do you want to take the floor there on that?
I'm not sure I have updates actually myself. I don't know who might.
Stephanie, do you have?
I had sent an email
Here.
out with some suggestions from Morgan as to things that could be done. I also know that the Johnson County United Nations Association is, I believe it's at 3:00 on the Ped Mall. On Wednesday, the 10th, we'll be having City High students read the declaration. They'll go through it a few times.
Oh, great.
So I don't know if that's something the commission wants to participate in or
Yes,
not.
that would be great.
I'm not sure why it's just City High, but I assume it's just probably staff and contacts of who they have. But if there was opportunity to get students from other schools or commissioners to be a part of that,
And that's on the Ped Mall on the 10th at what time?
3 p.m.
Okay.
And at this time, they're not planning on having a speaker and a microphone, but if that's something that you think would be beneficial, then I believe there's one I can rent from the city to assist.
All right. And then I know we also were discussing like the Cocoa and Cards event and kind of joining those two together.
Yeah, I think what Morgan was suggesting is kind of basically what you're talking about, kind of a meet and greet. But it would also be an opportunity for community members to bring things that people may need in the community.
Did we have any dates thrown out for this?
The 10th was the
10th.
only date where more than one commissioner was available, and at that time it was just Kelsey and Doug. I know Tyler was available, but I don't recall if it was on Wednesday or not.
Was that Google Groups thing that I poked on?
It wasn't, it was a doodle.
Yeah, I poked on it.
There was only one, there were only 2 dates where more than one commissioner were available.
I see.
What
Yeah.
what time was it on the 10th?
That would be 3:00, but I believe the event, if the commission did an event,
Yeah.
was just going to be, I think it was 5 to 6:30.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, it was just like an hour and a half.
Do we still need to enter in that doodle poll, or I wasn't here last meeting?
No, it's closed.
Okay.
So
I can attend that. So
I would need to find a location, which I don't think will be too much of a problem.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm trying to see if I can find the email that I sent out.
Stephanie, I have 5 to 7 on the flyer that you had just drafted. It still is outstanding in terms of the location, but if that helps in terms of the timing on December 10th. And I think it would be wonderful, Emily, if you want to join us. We just need to be thoughtful of not accidentally having quorum or even enough to
That's all right.
warrant having minutes taken at the meeting in case it accidentally becomes an official meeting of the group.
gotcha. All good. I don't need to attend if y'all are
I think
handling it.
at this point it's just me and Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm
so
not
you're
sure. I
welcome
don't
to,
think you
yeah.
have any
Okay.
concerns at this point. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys need me, I'm there.
Yeah, come on in. I would say the more the
Awesome.
merrier, but that's not that's not the case.
The more the merrier until a certain point.
Yes, yeah.
Is there a where to that?
Aware?
Yeah, where is it?
No, we're not. We don't have aware yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're working on that. Yeah, I think that would be great. And I think, Stephanie, some of the human rights, the stuff that the UN published that you had drafted looked fantastic. So, yeah.
That was Morgan, and I'm still trying to find it, but I can't
Okay.
find it.
All right. Yeah.
But if those of you, I think Kelsey and you have it, if you could look at it, because if there's anything that I need to get printed or anything, I don't have that long of a turnaround to get that moving and stuff, but I'll look at locations
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. So Kelsey and I will take the lead on that. Yeah, Kelsey, go ahead.
I was just going to say yes, Stephanie. Sorry, I'm back now, and I am going through all my inbox and what I missed. So I will definitely take a look at this urgently so that you can have that from me by tomorrow.
Same.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Great. So we're set for the 10th, 5 to 7. Location TBD.
I just found it. So
Okay.
it says human rights are everyday essentials. Like Kelsey said, Wednesday, December 10th, 5 to 7. Meet commissioners to reflect and discuss everyday essentials that are made possible by human rights in practice and how it is considered essential in daily lives. Spending time with family, reading the news, walking freely, drinking clean water, or enjoying a meal. And I think I read this wrong. I think she's suggesting maybe that the commission gives out first aid kits and water test and hygiene kits, snack and juice, vitamin packet mix. So I can see what I can get.
We're just a little over a week, so
Okay.
no expectations, Stephanie, whatsoever. I think maybe some hot cocoa would be above and beyond at this point.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, some finger food.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I can, I will try to see what I can get. So
Okay. Great. All right. Okay. Anything else then? All right. And without skipping another agenda item, number 9 is our commission work groups. The first two on here don't have commissioner names on them. I'm not sure if we've officially.
So I talked at the last meeting. I said I had forgot to let Jeremy know that the commission had started a transportation committee, and you had kind of talked to me about your vision, and I didn't know if you wanted to share that with the entire group so that they can hear it. Okay,
Yeah, please.
thank you.
First of all, thank you for creating the commission. I think it's a step in the right direction. There's many different types of participation, and I think this is an essential one. Having transportation on an agenda and having a commission is going to go a long way eventually, I think. So I had some questions and suggestions or things to bring up. And so I wanted to know, one of the things that we hoped was that bus riders would be part of the committee. So if there can be some discussion about that, like how can bus riders join the commission, join the subcommittee, and what will that look like? So will bus riders have a vote on any decisions that are made by the commission, especially when it comes to making recommendations to city council on any transportation issues that might come up, the meeting times and locations. Just wondering whether you intend to have the meeting be just in a general meeting like this, or if it'll be a small in a small room, and how often that will meet. So those are just a couple questions I wanted to bring up. And
Great. Yeah. So typically our work groups or our subcommittees meet once a month in between our full commission meetings, more if necessary, sometimes less. And so it would be up to the commissioners on that subgroup to schedule those times and locations. As far as being open to the public or having members of the public or bus riders join that commission, Stephanie, I'd look to you as far as open meetings and what needs to be published, what needs to be.
As long as there's not a quorum, you would be fine meeting.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you can have other people outside of commissioners be a part of it. So we wouldn't have to post an agenda, but of course, any notes or anything associated with the meeting would be subject.
The notes would be reported back at these meetings during this time, like usual.
Yep.
Okay, and I would probably, the commissioners on that, I would probably encourage some structure or bylaw, maybe something around that as far as, are there standing members there if we're going to vote on things, just something to think about. We'll go, Kelsey has her hand raised, and then Jeremy will go back to you.
Yeah. Jeremy, thanks for coming to the meeting tonight. I just wanted to mention that I know you had proposed to us previously about the Transit Commission proposal for a Transit Advisory Commission. And I just wanted to clarify that in establishing a work group for the Human Rights Commission, that this is really just a discussion space to determine how the Human Rights Commission might have a role, whether that's in advocacy or otherwise, to help support transit-related issues in our community from a human rights perspective. And so separate from that, I think it's really exciting to actually think about who could, from the community, could join that conversation. But it would be different from a local city transit commission. And so I know you had proposed having riders, but also local stakeholders be a part of a transit commission. And this would be maybe a first step to that, but it wouldn't be that because it's just to serve the actions of the Human Rights Commission.
Okay, so yeah, we're still advocating for the Transit Commission. And then I guess, like maybe talking about what is within the scope of the commission and what you're looking for from members of the public. So it's just somewhere where people can come and say, hey, my bus stop, it disappeared. Why? Or is this kind of like a general meeting? So
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think to Kelsey's point, this would be a space to kind of discuss the impacts of transit on people's lives as far as from a human rights perspective. I could see this leading to a recommendation to, or kind of the Human Rights Commission as a whole supporting a city transit commission to address those issues.
Yeah, the presentation we heard here at the commission about the research had been done invited us to think about transportation in a whole different way. And I really was grateful for that. So this makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it would have to be clear from the beginning that nothing's going to be solved or fixed or done by this group, right? We won't have any power to change the bus stop or move it or change schedules or anything like that whatsoever. So just want to be clear about that up front. It's more of that discussion space. What's the impact of transit on
Humans.
on humans? Yeah. Okay. All right. Did we have, I can't remember has anyone volunteered for this group yet?
No.
Okay. Do we have
I have
commissioners?
zeal for it because you took away my bus stop. I live in a Jeremy, I live in a valley, and right across the street was the bus stop. I have heart disease. I can't walk up to the Benton stop. So I don't. I get you. I just wanted to add anecdote.
Right. So, Mark, are you taking on the transportation work group?
No.
No.
No, I mean,
Okay.
Jeremy, I really appreciated that research, and it was heavy, and to think about it that way, and yeah, I'll be your contact. But
Okay.
because Kelsey and Emily and Lubna, I haven't met with the housing group, so, but my name's there. Maybe it shouldn't be, and I'll put me by transportation.
Thank you, Mark.
Denby Drive.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so more to come from transportation. Thank you, Mark. All right. Any other work group reports tonight? We're missing a couple folks, and I don't know if with Thanksgiving and things, if folks have had a time or place to meet yet. So I'll just kind of open it up here if anyone has any, if there are any updates to.
No. I ran into Liz, and she said we will meet.
Ran into Liz and said she will meet. Perfect. Yep. Okay. For the immigration committee.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And there you are again. And
Okay.
There you are again.
All right. Okay. So looking forward to getting back into the swing of these work groups after the holidays. I know immigration remains a very
Yes.
pertinent issue in our community, especially. And I know we did have a Scoochamy voice here and worked, have been supporting them. So that's great. Community outreach is, I think, where a lot of the Human Rights Day cocoa and cards kind of came from. So a bit of an update there. All right. Any updates on the grant network? I know Liz isn't here tonight, but
There was a meeting. Do you want to, or a quarterly meeting?
Yeah, I forgot how many of the organizations showed up then.
I think there were about 16. I think there were just Houses into Homes and the Bike Library had previous commitments, but I think
Yeah.
everybody else was there.
Well, it was a positive and a complimentary meeting where we got to follow up with organizations to see if they have any updates or programs or events coming up. Always it brings the community together just to share the thoughts and to share the plans ahead of time and to get people working together and connecting with each other. So Dr. Liz and I and Stephanie, we were there, and we had quite like it was informative as well, because some of the programs that's going on in town, it is uplifting. Like, for example, I think Dream City was one of them where they're going to be hosting I think it's called
Yes.
what's the title of the event they're going to host? They did hers. I have to pull it up to see what is it. But they have a whole day conference style thing for boys, I think sixth graders and up, where they get empowered and learn about how to be really great in the community and how to be positive and productive. And so they have hosted hers conference before. It was very successful as well. So it's targeting our youth and our teens, and I look forward to know more about the result and the outcomes of this one. Other organizations have shared multiple things, but sorry, I did not bring that notebook that I took the notes on it. So yeah, but we look forward to follow up. Maybe, I don't know. Stephanie, did we set up a date for later on to meet again, or?
Yes, so the next meeting will be, it's the first Wednesday of March would be the next one, and it will be at the, it'll be March 4th from 12 to 1 at the Iowa City Airport Conference Room.
March 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll continue doing this, and hopefully we'll, bring the community together more often in such, lovely way. Thank you.
Deanna, I just wanted to say thank you to you and Dr. Liz and to Stephanie for organizing those discussions. I know I was able to attend the first one, which was just, I feel like the tip of the iceberg. There was so much enthusiasm left on the table after that conversation. And I think it really demonstrates how interested and invested community leaders are to attend these and to be a part of these events by their continued attendance. I think it's serving a need. It's gathering people who otherwise would not be in communication, and it's fostering bonds of community that we need now, especially more than ever, especially through non-competitive ways as well. So I'm really glad that you were able to have that recent conversation, and thank you. I hope that this continues, and I hope that we can continue to hear updates on it too.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We missed you, and hopefully next time you'll be with us. Thank you.
Okay, agenda item 11, explore professional development opportunities. Is there anything on
I can
this?
give an update on this from
Yeah, great.
last month. Yeah, so last month I had promised to look into a conflict management center that I did a training with when I was in graduate school. And if they had any offerings for us on interpersonal conflict management and strategies. I have basic information so far that typically they just do within a local radius of Syracuse, New York, which we are not in. But I'm still pursuing this and looking for more information to see if we might be able to do something virtually with them or if they have another recommendation that's more local. So still working on it.
Okay, great. And while you have the floor, Kelsey, the next item is staff and commission member updates, if you want to kick us off.
Sure.
You're easy to brag about.
I'll be brief. I'm still getting my head on straight after work travel, Thanksgiving, and then coming back with the sickness. But excitingly, the book that you've heard me talk about several times about essentially how identity-based violence occurs at scale in cities around the world and what we can do about it is out into the wild now. It's available online for free, open access through Palgrave Macmillan. It's called Identity-Based Mass Violence in Urban Contexts Uncovered, and I can definitely share the link to that. But
Good.
I think a lengthy book, but it has stories and examples from around the world, including imagery and poetry and street art that help to demonstrate communities that are finding solutions to really unearth how these long-term forms of violence are occurring and also the acute forms of violence and what we can do about it. So that's me. That's pretty much all that's been on my mind lately. But it's really good to see you all virtually.
I was so grateful that you introduced us to your work in a way that I had no idea, and the people you work with. It was just being tuned in for that. It was really a powerful experience for me. I shared it with many people.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
Stephanie, any staff updates? All right, Emily.
I also don't have many updates. It's been kind of a whirlwind, family, personal life, but I'm back now and I'm here. And I guess I was able to recently read The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. I think and it's a very interesting read if you guys are interested in how housing segregation came to be and continues to be. It's a really good read. And then my other updates is I hope everyone stays safe and warm over the next couple months. And at least until I see you guys again.
And I think we have a few copies of The Color of Law in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. I remember when it came out, we had a few. So if anybody
I think it's aged a little bit, but
Okay, and there's a follow-up too, because
there
there's a second book too, and we have a few of that too.
well, then I might have to.
Okay, just send me an email and I can either send it out or you can stop by City Hall to grab it.
Commissioner Kadura.
Yes, I can give you updates. As maybe you know me, that I've been busy, just bits and pieces here and there. So one of the few things that I work on with the Miriam Girls Club is to uplift our youth and advocate for them and give them opportunities that it wasn't possible before I put them on the spot. So one of the things we did last month, this in November, we have visited the Coralville council chamber and the police departments and the fire departments. They had one-on-one, conversation with the mayor and with the staff, with the city council, the police officers, the firefighters. They were so excited. We're talking about teens who might get bored and who might, say, "Oh, why you're bringing us here?" But it was an eye-opening for them, and they got really interested in the job of the city. And we truly appreciate, the police departments, the Coralville Police Departments, Anthony Detweiler, he did a great job of, organizing and setting up the whole thing for us. That was one of the things that we did. But we are busy now trying to plan for the I'm losing my words, for December 12th community meal, the Coralville free community meal. It's going to be at the Coralville Rec Center. It's going to be in December 12th from 5 to 7, and it is hosted by, organized and sponsored by the Coralville Food Pantry, and hosted at the rec center. This is going to be the public library, the Coralville Public Library there. We're going to be the Miriam Girls Club doing glitter tattoos, and maybe a snowman there, many activities, and they're going to hand out free books for the kids as well. One great thing that I did this past month is visiting the Iowa City Free Lunch. I have never been there before. And I regret that, but I cannot regret because no one told me about it before. I passed by that building many times and I did not know that existed. And I felt so bad that all those years I was looking forward for such an opportunity and I just missed on it for the past few years that I lived in here. But now, hopefully we're connected and I look forward to work with them and taking our youth and teens and, let them serve the community in a way that fits for them, because this is the way we raise our children. They have to be humble. They have to understand, the struggles and the challenges of other people. Again, it's a human right. Shelters, housing, employment, food. We don't discriminate against anyone, regardless of who they are. And we are there for everyone equally. And I look forward for, giving this opportunity for our girls and our youth and even their parents to join us there. And hopefully we can commit ourselves for multiple participation throughout the year with them. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Mark?
Yeah, you keep giving us evidence, Fiona, of what it is to be empathetic and curious. And that's kind of our role as commissioners. Leslie and I saw the movie Nuremberg. It was very disturbing. It was particularly disturbing because my father was an American soldier in Germany from 41 to 45. So a lot of this was happening while he was there. Our lineage is German. We had relatives there that were being abused anyway. So I was gripped by this, but I'm also gripped by what happened to the Jews in Germany and Poland is too similar to what's happening in these United States with the ICE reporting. Tomorrow and Wednesday, 22 residents need to report at the ICE office at 8 o'clock. There will be a group going to accompany them, but the concern is it's the end of the year and there may be quotas. And it's frightening to think about it that way. I also wanted you to know that I'm a Christian, but this season I understand to be an unveiling season. So in my centering prayer and reflection and meditation with Leslie, we're looking for a sort of unveiling for a larger awareness of what's happening. That's enough. I could ramble on. I'm just glad to be reappointed to another 3-year term.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Mark. For my updates, today is December 1st, which is World AIDS Day. Commemorates and remembers the lives of people throughout the world that we've lost to the horrible disease. The devastation that it still causes particularly in Africa, as well as here. We've gotten to a point in the past 5 to 10 years where research has allowed AIDS and HIV to be a manageable disease. It is no longer a death sentence. It's there are drugs, there are preventive drugs now that have done wonders in countries that can afford those drugs. The United States was one of the largest contributors to AIDS research and AIDS relief in Africa and across the world. That funding is gone. this year, for the first time, the United States as a government is not recognizing World AIDS Day at all. So I want to call that out to this. When the AIDS crisis first emerged in the 80s, thousands and thousands of people died and were ignored, and nothing was done. A lot of precious time was lost in trying to find a treatment or a cure for it. And now we are back to that time. We're just instead of 2025, it's like 1985, and we are not acknowledging this disease and the impact that it has on people across the world. So today on World AIDS Day, just to center that and bring that to the forefront for us, because it needs to be. On a more local level, the University Pride Alliance Center is collecting donations for their QT closet, which is a free clothing closet for queer and transgender individuals, so they can get clothing and that matches their gender identity. Especially looking for male presenting clothing. So if you're if you're cleaning out your closet, getting ready for new clothes that you're going to get at Christmas or Hanukkah, then let me know. I'll gladly gather and take those over to the Pride Alliance Center. Or if you have time and want to stop by there, it's on Melrose, right across from the hospital, 601 Melrose. It's easy to remember because 6/1 is the first day of Pride Month, so it's 601 Melrose. So if you have anything to drop off there, they would really appreciate it. Finally, at the beginning of November, Dr. Liz and I met on a kind of food insecurity task force. There were some folks from Antelope Lending Library there, the One Box Challenge, and then from City Council, Mazahir Sully and Mayor Teague were there as well. We discussed a lot of things about, kind of the food insecurity in the community and the reliance of our citizens on SNAP benefits, because at the beginning of November that was taken away, and it's still, the solution to that was only temporary. So we may in a month or two find ourselves again at a government shutdown and people without their benefits. So we were trying to convene as many voices as possible, and we do want to meet again with leaders or folks representing for each food pantry in the community, and we have several. We talked a lot about kind of what is needed. Culturally appropriate foods came up as a very, very big topic. Dry beans, lentils, rice, and just cooking raw, I call them raw materials, flour, sugar, oil, those sorts of things. A lot of people donate, random cans of whatever. There are a lot of folks that just don't eat canned food. So giving them those sorts of things is really important. Baby formula is huge as well, is always needed. So just kind of keep that in mind. I know some other thing, from Community Crisis Food Pantry, they also suggested yeast, shelf-stable milk or milk powder, coffee, and butter were things that they always are short on. So I know kind of as we get into the holiday season, people are giving a lot more, but just keep in mind the food pantries and that food insecurity, so that if another crisis comes up, they're prepared, and they're always looking for donations anyway, because unfortunately we always have a need. In a country with billionaires and billionaires, and we have people who can't buy their next meal. So, so those are my updates, and I just want to make sure everyone, since this will be our last meeting for the year, want to wish everyone a safe and joyous and happy holiday season, whatever holidays you celebrate. There are many, many, many at this time of year. So enjoy your time with your family, and hopefully you get time with your family. And I'm very thankful for the work that we do and the relationships that we have with each other here as well. Roger.
Thank you. I'll be brief. The month of October, my wife and I, Molly, we got to travel, which is always a humbling experience. We got to go to my home country, Congo, but we don't just go to Congo and go to the glamorous places. We go to the rural central Kinshasa, where Molly goes to visit rural clinics, where you see a small room divided by 4 when there's a person giving birth in one quarter, there's a person being treated for major illness, and there's a person getting surgery, all in one 12 by 12 room. So it's always a humbling experience. So we visit clinics that they don't show you on TV. That's not where the United Nations goes. That's not where the Western world comes in. This is where we go, and that's where we do a lot of our work, because we bring medicine and stuff that we collect throughout the 2 years, because we do it every 2 years, and we package suitcases. This time we took 8 suitcases, and the following day we do set up shop for kids, and they can come pick up things, and family. And it always breaks our heart, because the only difference between this kid and our kid is this kid just happened to be born in a different part of the world. By no choice of their own and nothing. So it's always a humbling experience, and we leave there after a week and a half always broken, and we have to spend some time in Europe and at least boost our morale before we come back to our kids. So, but it always reminds us that we are, no matter what we got going on in our life, we are blessed beyond our measure, and there's always people that got it worse by not any choice of their own. So it was great. And then we come home for Thanksgiving, and we had all of our 7 girls come home, which I am thankful for that family, and spending time with them. It's always the most rewarding things. And one of them her flight was canceled last night, but I actually enjoyed that the flight was canceled, because I got one more day with them. So, yes, coming over here and the work that we do, fighting for human rights, and Doug is talking about donating food and all those things in the most richest country in the world, when we spend so much money in building military and sending military everywhere, sending money everywhere, but in our backyard we have to donate food so kids can eat, or donate clothes so kids can have clothes. So it's always heartbreaking. So I say, as we close out the year, we all got stuff going on. The only thing, it's not written on our forehead, so you don't know what everybody got going on. So we can be kind to one another and enjoy life, hand tomorrow, and keep doing what you're doing. It's worth it. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's really nice to be in your number. My goodness.
And with
Good company.
with that, we can adjourn. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
I
I
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.